What's up, brick builders? Today's build is the Model B of the cherry picker that we did not so long ago. This is called the tow truck, set number 42031. Year it came out was 2015. Age group you're looking at 7 to 14. It's not too difficult. Number of parts is 155, which is really surprising by the look of the actual model. You wouldn't think so. Price per piece is 5p, which is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Cost when it was brand new was £7.99, and its current value is £18 to £19 brand new. If you had it sealed, mint. If you have used, you're looking at £3 to £4. So not a massive investment, but a fun set. Hello, Sean from BRIT'N Bricks, folks, and welcome to the next build. It's 2-in-1. It's from the James Yorke challenge. We are obviously joined by Shadow Rock, cup of tea, and it's Yorkshire tea, by the way. People have asked. Yeah, they have. People have asked. So let's crack on. And we've got the instructions up for you as well, folks, so you can see what's going on. Model B. Okay, so let's move some of the big stuff out of the way just to make a little bit of space. So put wheels, some bars, some plates. Just put all the plates over here. This is where later on I won't be able to find a plate. So we got the 9 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2 blue pins, long. 1 in the end, and 3 hole space goes into the 3rd hole. So you've got 2 holes. So it looks like that. Then we got a 10 pin going in behind, short end in again. Black pin going in just after that blue pin. Like that, and another 10 pin on the very end, like that. These are going to be the axles. That's what the axles were last time, so you can see what's going to be happening already. A 13 long beam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and it's very difficult to see how many holes that is on the black beam on these instructions here, because it's a little bit black. Zooming in and out is not going to help. So it's going to be wild guess time. Ouch. Or it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. So 4 holes and then the pin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after that we've got a space, and then we've got the black piece going in with the pin with the axle. So it's one of those. There's the pin, and there it is. So the axle is going to go through. And then the pin is going in 1 hole gap, and the bar's going to hang down. Then we got a blue pin at the end, like that, and squish them together. So this blue pin is going to line up with that bollocks things. So it's going to rest on top. And then we get the H block. H block's going to go there, I believe. Yep. So we got 2 hole gap. One of them's been occupied by a pin, so it will be a 1, and then it goes in there. At the moment, we've got a little bit of rocking motion. I don't think that's intentional. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Another H block. There it is. And it's going to go right next to it. So that will probably make it a little bit more stable. Nope, we've still got some rocking motion going on. And then we've got a red axle that's going through. And that's going to stop the rocking, I think. Line it up, push it through. Yep, that's secured it. Put that down. Looks like we're building the front. So white periscope, right angle. Make sure the holes are the same way. So they're like that and not like that. And then we've got the grey connector, 2-pin grey connector, hole facing along the beam. And then we've got double connector with the pinhole in there, and 2 blue pins with axles. We're going to go in either end, and then this is going to tag into the middle of that hole there, or into that hole there, like that. Then we've got the small L shape and a blue long pin. So the blue long pin, short end in, into the elbow, into the right angle, and then this on the end of the L, like that. Push that all the way in, so it's kind of level with that. Another periscope, another right angle, same again, holes facing same way. And then this is just going to cap off the end of this. So on the blue pin and the grey pin, and you have that. What is it? I have no idea. No idea. That's the thing I love about Lego, is that you can build something for a while and have no clue. Is that a 3 long? That's a 3 long axle. 3 long axle is going to go through the middle. And then it's going to have some earrings. These 2 yellow pieces here are going to hang off the edge like earrings. Like that. And then we've got 2 clear circular 1x1 plates are going to go into those holes just to bling up those earrings, even though they're not earrings. Look like headlights. There we go. That looks like headlights to me. And then this is going to, so this hole here on this connector here is going to pin on this blue axle here. And push that all the way in, I think. Yep. Because then that beam goes into that place there. And then we've got the horseshoe, a red axle, gonna drop that in the top, that. And then we're going to get a Mordrum, so we want a dark grey Mordrum head. Push the axle all the way through. And then this is going to pin on the middle, on this upper blue pin here. And it's going to go in the bottom hole like that. It's interesting. And then we're going to drive blue pin through the Mordrum piece. Okay, long ways through, so it's going to go all the way in, so it's half in and half out. So you've got half on each. And then we're going to do what looks like the seats again. So these could be the seats again. So that one down there. Then we put the curved piece over to finish one seat. And then that's going to pin on one side of the blue pin that we just put in. Do again. The grey piece. There it is. You know, I totally built that wrong. There we go. That's being clever. Right. And so these were seats last time, so I'm going to flip them up just to see what's going on. Yeah, they could be seats. They could be seats again. Same again, we've got to put another 1x3 plate across the top, followed by cheese wedges facing in towards the yellow parts. So red cheese wedges. Yeah, and then we had to tip the seats forward. So, seems to be like the box standard design for miniature seats. So you go, and then just tip them forward like that. It does look really good, actually. It's very effective. I do like it. It's a very cool design. Okay, so L plate and 2 3 axles. So we got one going in the elbow. If we have it like that, like it does on the instruction sheet, then it's going to go in this side here, like that. Then we got a grey plate going across. 3 hole grey plate. One axle is going to go through the hole. It's going to go through the middle hole, so you're going to be pushing the other axle down through the axle hole. So it's like that. And then we've got the, it looks like the screw again, rotating screw, 8 long axle with stopper on the end, 2 small bushings, yellow on the end, same design. Again, be careful, put it in the axle through the actual circular hole, so you've got the spinning motion, because if you do this, you've got no spinning motion, you've locked it in place, and you're going to wonder why your screw is not rotating. Believe me, I've done it. Right, so then we've got to put another bushing on, then we got the screw. So we got the screw, and then we're going to cap that off with another bushing. So it looks like that. And just check, make sure this is free spinning, because what's going to be happening is this is going to be mounted and this should rotate. Now if you had it the other way around, the whole thing would rotate, so it wouldn't rotate basically once it's fixed. So this then is going to be, by the looks of things, this is going to be attached to that middle axle like so. And then we're going to be putting a connector, a double connector on here with a 3 axle. So we'll put the 3 axle through the connector first, just to make things a little bit easier. keep your finger or thumb behind the axle that you're going to push it through, and the bar is going to face up, so it's going to be parallel to the screw. And then we're going to cap that off with a blue with a grey bar, or a grey plate, 3-hole. Again, this axle is going to go through the middle hole, so you're lining up that one with the axle there, and then we're going to drive a red plate, a red axle. Looks like we're just holding it there for a bit on the other end there. Yeah, that's holding for now. And then we're going to cap that plate off with another L plate. Middle axle is going to go into the elbow, just like the other side. Just make sure that you've got the L plate facing the same way as the other L plate, and you should be good. Turn it upside down, and we're going to put 2 short pins in here. Not pushing them all the way through by the looks of things on the instructions. So put your finger behind the L plate and just push the axle through until it touches your finger and you're there. Put your finger behind the L plate, push it through. As soon as you feel it tickle your finger tip, you're there, like that. So it looks like we're going to mount that onto something. So it looks like we have to set it. So it's like that. Everything's good. Looks good on the instructions here. And it is going to mount. It is going to mount. Oh, I see. Right. Okay, so this black connector here is going to go in between these 2 grey plates. So just pop that in between them and then drop the back end down a bit like that. And then we might be pushing this red axle through to connect and hold it. I am correct. Push that through. Put your finger behind the grey plate. Push it through enough till you feel it. Well, it shouldn't go too far anyway. And there you go. You're actually connected. Leave this grey axle out at the moment. And then we're going to cap that side off with the other white 9-bar. We've got a tan pin going in long ways, 1 hole, and then pin drop, and then the pin drop on the far end. Then we got a black pin that's going in as well, and that's 2 pin, so 2 hole, 1, 2, and then a third. It's going to pop in there, and then we can cap that off. Like so. And now you've got your 2 axles, or 4 axles. 4 axles there. 2 new axles. You've got black pin hanging out. You've got grey pin, grey axle, probably waiting to be pushed all the way through. Yes, got to push this axle all the way through now. So push the grey axle through. Put in a black horseshoe, wishbone type thing on the end, like that. And then we've got the other black bar is going to be going across here. There's a few things to line up here, a couple of pins. Take the longest one and then just snap it in, and there you go. Next part is the long, kind of reminds me of one of those telescopes that you see at the beach, basically, or a traffic meter. Right, 4 axles going to go straight through the middle, like so, and then we're going to put 2 grey small bushings on either side. 2 grey Very small bushings on either side, like that. And then we've got the two horseshoe U-bends, whatever you want to call them. Now then, axle facing away from you, and it looks like the open part of the U-bend is going to be facing away from you as well. And then the other side as well, like that. Then we drop in 4 short pins with studs on the end. They're going to go into the holes of these U-bend horseshoe things. These are probably going to be our back lights. Like that. Yep. So it looks like you got the amber or the orange on the outside and the red on the inside. So put your orange on the outside, that's usually your indicators. And the red would be fog lights and rear and brake lights. So that kind of makes sense with that configuration. And orange. So you have your rear lights, and then you're just going to drop that down. You drop it down through this horseshoe U-bend thing that you just popped in there, like that. That's interesting because it folds. Look, that's pretty cool. But is it going to stay like that? Okay, so you got your L-shaped curves or arches, and the top of it, the top of the L-shaped curve, you're going to have a red axle. And you're going to pop it in till your finger touches your finger. And put your finger behind it so that you don't push it all the way through, because we're going to put in a yellow connector on there, axle hole. Sometimes they do want to push it through. Just poke it back out a little bit so that you've got that extra piece there to put the other arch piece on. And then we've got a 4-axle large gear. Large gear is going to go in the middle of the 4-axle, like so. And then this is going to go into the middle hole of, if you think of this L shape, that's the bottom of the L shape there, it's going to go into that middle hole there, like that. And then what we're going to do is cap it off. Yep. Middle hole. And there you go. And it should freewheel. So give it a bit of a spin, see if it freewheels. Give it a bit of a spin, and then this will be, the hole will be going down on the axle here that has the stopper on it that we made the screw mechanism on the back there. You can drop it on there so that that is facing at the back. Don't drop it on the front, it won't really go. It goes on the back like so. And then we drop these pins through finally. So these 2 blue pins here that we've had the axles. Keep your grey arch piece in place because it does have an axle hole on the elbow of your L shape, and you're pushing that blue pin through into that elbow. So there's 2 there. So just push those through. Then we're going to put a yellow bushing on top, and then we've got the Hand of God gear. And that's going to move and test it out. Just twist it. You should have your screw moving and the cog or the gear turning very slowly. Just test it out. Works perfect. Lovely. Right, this looks a bit interesting. So 2-pin connector with the hole. 2-pin connector with the hole. Push it through the middle. Have the hole facing exactly the same way as the pin is, not the hole facing up. And then we're going to put a yellow smooth sleeve on the end of the other pin, like so. And then we got a yellow plate is going to go on one pin, like so. And then you've got a 3-hole pin, 3-hole plate with a 3-axle. Again, put your finger behind it, push the axle through until it tickles your finger, stop. And then you're going to locate this axle is going to go through that hole there on that connector. And then this pin here, the edge of this pin here is going to lock into place on that plate. So you should feel or hear a snap. Test it out, it's all good. That's how it looks. And then we're going to put a tan pin long ways in. So because this is a plate, the pin's going to poke through, as you can see, like that. Now these are frictionless, so they are supposed to move. So this could be a bit tricky. And then you got to take your connector here, and you got to put it with the hole going through. You try doing it the other way. You're just trying to put a circle through a cross, and it should move. That's what's supposed to happen. Cap that off with the other plate. 3 things to line up. Should have the pin, the axle, and the pin all poking through because it's a plate. If it's not, then you put a bar on. Right, so the next thing is the fire hydrant, yellow fire hydrant, a right angle, fire hydrant hole facing up, and the right angle hole facing going across. And then you're going to put a red axle through. So put your finger, thumb behind the bottom of the fire hydrant, push your axle through until you feel it tickle, stop. Turn it over because this is going to act as the towing hook, and it's going to go into this connector here, and it should dangle. Then this is going to connect, so we have backlights facing, so this is going to connect to the axle that is in the L-shaped arch piece. And just line it up any old how, as long as it lines up. Don't push the pin through like I just did. Line it up any old how. I think we're going to be capping that off with some bushings anyway. And this is what is supposed to happen. So just give it a test, and it lifts the arm up and down. That's what's supposed to happen. Yep, we're going to be capping that off on the other side, so then it won't fall off. So axle should line up. Push them through. Push the axle through just a little bit so it's even on even sides. And again, give it a bit of a whirl. And as you can see, even though that gear's moving slowly, it's the length of the boom exaggerates the movement, which is really cool. So connector with hole and axle, and we're driving a 4-axle through. Put your finger behind the hole, wait until it tickles, stop. Keep your finger or thumb behind it because we're going to be placing a white periscope on top. So if you don't, then you'll push your axle through. So it just stops the axle from going through. Make sure your holes are facing the same way. And then we're doing 2 of those, right? Okay, cool. So like that. Like that. Push the axle through a little bit. Right, so these are going to go like, so they're going to attach to that black pin and that blue pin there. Looks kind of hydraulic-y. I don't think that's going to have any effect. I think it just has aesthetics. Just looks like a hydraulic arm. Ooh, long arch L shape. One hole plate. We got 5 hole axles. So put your finger behind the hole, push the 5 axle through until it tickles your finger, and on the other side do the same thing. So you got that, and then the arch is going to be facing to the left, and you're driving these 2 axles through. Oops, driving these 2 axles through. Keep your finger firm, or you could even just place it on the table and just push it down. That stops it from running through. And then we're going to drive this through. Now then, I think it's going to be these 2. No, it's not. It's these 2 here. Ooh, come on, you can go through. This is where we find out I've put something in wrong. Nope, there it goes. Just got to work it through a couple of plates and bars. Give it a bit of a wiggle, and it will go in. So you're building your cab. And ooh, some orange lights, right? Okay, so 4 axle, 2 yellow bushings, and they're going to meet up in the middle. So it's like kind of like that, and then you're going to put 2 connectors on like so. Make sure the holes are facing the same way. If you like that staggered, you might be in a bit of a mess. So just make sure they're in facing the same way, like that. And then we're going to put 2 more grey connectors with pins on the end through the holes in the same sides, and then you're going to put yellow beacons on those connectors like that. That's a really nice little bit of detail, to be honest. And then this is going to bridge across the top of the cab like that, and then you're just going to cap off with the arch, keeping those in place, and you should have the top axles lined up with the arches, but you should have 2 grey axles poking out still, because we're going to be putting a 1 hole plate on there as well, like that. And there's your cab. It's actually looking pretty good. Okay, so we've got the wheels. Oh, this final part. So you got all these pieces left over. All these pieces left over. It's really, really cool. And these wheels are reversible, as you know. So industrial, racing, that's how I kind of remember it. And we're going industrial because it's a thing. You could have a racing wheels on your breakdown thing, or your, yeah, I suppose, because it's a tow truck, isn't it? You could have a souped up tow truck. But we're going to go industrial. Snap those in place. And that is your tow truck. Is actually, I think this really is a good set. You get 2 of these, so you got the cherry picker and you got the tow truck. I think those would make those would complement each other quite well. And look at the parts you get left over. That's actually quite good. The main build, you didn't have any parts left over at all, but for this, it looks pretty good. There you go. Nice little tow truck. Could have racing wheels on either side, or you can have your industrial wheels like we got there. But and get your fold away lights when you're towing, so you don't smash your lights up. Oh, I'm not quite sure about this though. I'm not sure about that. I think that's just how it's supposed to be, like that. There you go. Fantastic. Nice little model. Well, there you go, folks. If you liked what you saw, just give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Don't be shy. Please don't be shy. Love comments. Constructive dismissal. No. Constructive criticism. Constructive dismissal. Gosh. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down. Drop a comment. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody who's supporting us. I'm Shaun from BRIT'N Bricks. Peace.